Author to Galactic Soul History of the Universe, which you could check out these books under Amazon and Barnes & Noble and many other places. You can find all the links that everything to that I'm about to mention. My website, risingphoenix.AuroRa.com. You saw the titles, quite an incredible video. You don't want to miss this one. You want to watch it to the end. Make sure you stay with us all the way through. It is going to be packed full of knowledge, wisdom, things that you're going to feel in your body that just feel that is accurate, that things that you already know, data that you already know in your heart or in your consciousness, and now you're receiving the real answers. So you saw today's title is Remote Viewing the Subterranean City Beneath Egypt, Galactic History. Now this is big, you all. I'm going to put all the puzzle pieces together. You've been probably seeing videos here and there. I, for myself, because I've had lives in Egypt, as well as you have, most likely, I am excited about this because we've been waiting for so long for this to be unveiled. Now, in case you are not familiar with my work, besides the books, I also am here. I have over 900 videos where we're here every Friday channeling live at 1 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you join us every Friday. Don't miss it. Every video is so important, and they're incredible content you don't want to miss. Hit subscribe now, and I host retreats all over the world. I am debuting my first international retreat in Ireland, Lionsgate, August 9th, for those of you who are getting certified for your first time, for A.U.R.A Hypnosis, which I am the founder of, which is entity removal, self-healing modality. And you don't have to be like, you don't have to be like a hypnosis practitioner. It's kind of like a guided meditation. You teach yourself how you go in, because that's just how easy scientifically your brain goes in and out of different brain waves. So you teach yourself how to self-heal, and you also others in your family, your loved ones. Watch the videos. The books have a lot of that content in there. I am in the middle of writing book 3, which is going to be big. Sign up to my newsletter, which I'm going to be having an article coming out today of teaser of book 3. So sign up to the newsletters, up to date on everything that we have rolling out, because we have a lot rolling out. What's really special about today is that we are looking under Egypt, right, to see what is really under there. And then also I have been teaching a course, and which is the most expansive Egyptian course that you will ever find. We put the science, the spirituality, and the energetics together, and within this course, it is part 7, which means that we've been teaching it for 7 months. And it is, wow, if you really want to know and go on a tour of what Egypt's all about and what's going on, we've been touring the surface above through this course and learning how to use the sacred alchemy that's really there, how to use it benevolently, only benevolence. And then now we are going to basically see beneath today. Now it's not going to it's going to be so vast, but in order to basically to learn the alchemy of how we can work within these energies that are located all over Earth, we'll be talking much about it today, but the course is quite incredible. So make sure you sign up for that. Even though there's 7 of them, each one of these courses are individually their own kind of body. So then you can sign up to them. I do recommend you do part 6, where we learn how these curses work in Egypt and how to basically remove them from all over, whether it's your life or other lands. And everything's kind of like we call it a curse, but basically dark energy that you can't seem to get rid of, a blockage. But yes, go to my website to sign up to California as well. Is another retreat I have going on in about 5 weeks, you all, if you've been thinking about going, just go. We're going to be connecting to the Sequoia 3,000-year-old trees, as well as Yosemite Park is right there as well. So I'd love to meet you. Come take your power back and become a Aura Hypnosis and Raw Reiki practitioner. You have the power in you. Everyone is a healer, whether you believe it or not. You are. It's just energy that flows out through you. You're going to learn about, you know, this energy that's flowing out of Egypt, apparently scientifically. So we're gonna debunk also, you know, the videos or data that this is not true, and we'll go into it and really from a science point of view as well. So not just remote viewing. So it's such an honor to be here with you. Join me in California in June 6-9, and then otherwise in Ireland 8-9 portal. Thank you. What a joy and honor it is to be here with you for over 7 years. It's been quite an incredible journey. Thank you if you found me long ago and you're just coming back again, because that's been happening a lot. You're understanding now our content years later. We tend to always be kind of ahead of Earth in a ahead trajectory to anchor in the organic timeline. So thank you for being here. Hit like again, and let's get started. So we have Gina in chat. She's going to be keeping track of the questions. Write your questions, and I will ensure to cover as many questions as we possibly can today. And but otherwise, go to Patreon to sign up to this Sunday's course. Okay, here we go. It's 1:11, perfect timing. So it looks like you can hear me and see me good. Yeah. My screen's frozen here. Gina, you just tell me if it freezes up, and if I'm good, text me, easiest way. Okay. All right. All right, so this video was confirmed, because my video is not loading. Make sure you can see me. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. We're good. Okay. Was inspired because I ended up actually like I ended up under the subterranean city, walking it and exploring it in the delta brainwave, which is basically sleep. And it could have been astral form, or most likely astral form, but we don't know. It's a future me that was walking in exploring under there. Okay, so we're going to be remote viewing further into this memory, future vision of astral form, and to see what is deveiling there. Okay, so in case you're not familiar to what is going on, I'll show you a couple videos that we'll be going over, and then we'll go more in detail. Okay. All right, so I'm going to show you now. Here we'll just show, there's a video here, Joe Rogan, and we'll listen to it. It's a pretty good video. And then I got a couple more videos. As I am showing you the videos, we'll add more to understanding that these are not just, you know, theories, they're actually facts. All right, so here we go.
Talking of pyramids, dude, this new pyramid shit that's just come out?
Oh, this is insane. Yeah, I was going to send this to you as well, Jamie. I'll send you one of the most comprehensive breakdowns of it on X, because it's quite stunning. So apparently, through the use of LiDAR, they have discovered that there are enormous structures underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth with coils. So enormous pillars, and then these coils. They don't understand what it is, because they're just looking at LiDAR images, but whatever this is a uniform structure. There's several pillars and all of this is like very, very, very weird.
Yeah, 600 meters descending down those cylinders, and then there's more stuff below it, and then
Yeah.
there's additional structures inside of it. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's really crazy. There's a guy, Jay Anderson, and he did a breakdown of it. Maybe this would be good. We could play this. It makes a little more sense when someone's explaining it to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we need somebody
it's-
that's an expert here, not me and you.
Zawi Hawass, by the way, has said it's nonsense. So I don't-
Already?
Yes. According to Graham Hancock. This is the wonderful thing about having Graham
I texted
Hancock.
Graham yesterday. I was like, yeah, what's going on with this?
Yeah, so click on that and go full screen, please.
So let's hear him explain it, and then I'll go into it.
Is.
Dun dun dun. I love the music. And geometry, so you know it's real.
Got to appreciate the dramatic intro.
Project Unity.
What has just been announced in relation to the pyramids at the Giza plateau and the plateau itself is so incredible, so awe-inspiring and narrative-shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told. So this is pretty much breaking news because the new findings were announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who was studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology. It was first developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography.
Fuck, that's a
This was
mouthful.
used to explore the internal
Chiropractor
structure
talk.
of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution, full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers. Massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down. This is what we know so far.
What does your friend think about it?
So we'll stop the video there. So that's a little overview, but we're going to go more into the details and the engineering of what we're seeing here. Where I will go back to now is the vision that I was in Egypt, and I was with a group of people. So this could represent a physical group, but most likely basically represents the collective of people. And we were on a journey, and the dreams basically tell you their visions of your higher self, or what the collective is basically unveiling, or what's new, or what's the collective working on, the collective of humanity, that is. And so in the dream, we were in a vehicle, and all of a sudden it's like quicksand, which makes me wonder. Now, I'm not an expert on that, so I always recommend safety. But what's going on with quicksand? Where are you really going? What's under? And we are aware of the subterranean cities under the lands, because we've been covering this in the Antarctica Tartaria series. The fact that this has unveiled in this now time space is huge, you all, and I'll explain that further. So what happened is that we're on this vehicle again, and then the sand all of a sudden caves in. We end up inside beneath, and you could see kind of like if you're inside a cave, and you could see the hole above where you caved in from. We think at first we're gonna die, or like, oh no, you're sinking in. Who knows what's gonna happen to you because you're sinking in. And we don't die. We just ended up sinking in into an opening. And then we are in a city that looks like Greek, Egyptian mixture, Tartaria, huge buildings, pillars. And the city does not just stop at where we've just landed under the sand, where say the quicksand was at, or we pulled into. It does not. That's actually just maybe the top surface of the city. as I'm speaking to this, say it's a guide, but we'll call it like an Egyptian guide or tour, you know, like that, and they're explaining, but it's more like the voice of Egypt, and they're explaining how this is just the top of it. This is not what you're seeing, is only the tip of the pyramids, are tips of basically like obelistic energy, structures. And then he says the whole city is actually way down beneath of Egypt, and you're just seeing the top of it. Do you understand? It's crazy. So I'm of course like, wow. Let me show you what I'm speaking about. So we went to Nashville, and in Nashville, when we discovered goddess Athena, who's made out of gold, 24 carats gold. And as we're looking at the images, because they have images inside the museum or monument, as they call them nowadays, and one of the structures really reminded me of, let me find that now, of what they used to look like, what, you know, civilizations look like. So a lot of these Tartarian buildings, the ones with the giant pillars, with giant doors, you know, made for 20, 30 foot people, right? So this is one of the buildings that is factually there. This is an image that they have displayed there in this monument in the Parthenon of Nashville. So what I want to show you is that you see this building, see how gigantic this building is alone with these gigantic pillars, okay? This is what we're seeing in Tartaria currently, and getting angel bumps on the subsurface, on the above surface of the buildings. This is why, and then beneath, you could say there are bigger structures, even bigger structures than what I'm showing you here. But I just wanted to show you, this is what we're seeing here. So we're only seeing the tips of the points of the structures. Now this completely aligns with what we've been teaching. In book 2, we talk about pyramids and how, or we've been talking about it actually since 6-7 years ago, and speaking about how they are what hold up both the spirit, but also the electromagnetic field of Earth, or the magnetic field of Earth. It holds up the energy, and it holds the construct, and we talk about it quantumly, especially when we go into understanding that we are in a plane of existence, basically a simulation that we're in, and the pyramids, the trees that are the neurons to our construct, are holding up all the space. Pyramids are very important, and especially when we were in the 5th dimension. Now, these structures that they're discovering here in Egypt, I want you to know that they're not just there in Egypt. They're also going to be found beneath the majority of these pyramids, and now what they call mountains or mounds. Now, but some of these mountains and mounds, as we know, are the cut off giant trees. Not all of them are going to have those exact structures, like the ones in the Mayan location have more of a double diamond shape like this, one at the top, one at the bottom. Now, every pyramid is unique to itself. Not all of them are going to have the same structure underneath, under the subsurface of it. So know that there's going to be differences in what we're going to be seeing unveiling. And this is where the question is like, why is this unveiling now? Right? All of us who've been speaking about that there is something going on. They're not really like, you know, tombs as they claim. They are not. So when they spoke about it in that Joe Rogan show, and then I started talking to Nikola Tesla, and as you know, I channel Nikola Tesla. You can find out more information about how I channel him under Patreon, where we have our exclusive Patreon. And for this month, it's half off. It's half off. It's only $4. You all come sign up to Patreon, Rising Phoenix AuroRa. So we do know is that as we channeled him, he is who constructed the Niagara Falls, and here's proof. You can find patents on the Niagara Falls, but he is, even have a statue of him. So when you're looking at this structure and then you're comparing it to the Egypt, what it's telling you is that it is Egypt, and there's the proof that we needed. It is scientifically a conductor of energy, a base stellar force field, a stellar gateway that used to connect. Now, and we used to, kind of travel out. Well, before we were a plane of existence in the third dimension, we were in 5th dimension. We could travel through these Tartarian buildings. See these structures here. These are some of the structures that go down deep into the Niagara Falls to create it. And here are more structures and everything that, more so again, and how it's interlinked. Okay, so they're nuclear, really, like kind of like nuclear power, but natural power to the connecting to the magnetic field of Earth. Okay, so that is proof. If you're an engineer and you're looking at what's being found and through the scans that they're doing, you know that that is a power plant, and something very powerful is basically running through that, and it is very important to Earth and the field here. See that? Okay, the field that runs through entire Earth. Also makes sense for those of us who, especially those of you who have been joining us in our Egyptian course for 7 months, and why Egypt has been such a targeted location, especially with their satanic rituals and blood rituals that they've been doing ever since the Egyptians moved out, because that's what happened. If you watch my Patreon series, we remote viewed Grand Canyon, and we found out that Cleopatra was the last pharaoh because she left at her own accord. Her and her entire civilization did leave, and that is factually, when you look at the false indoctrinating history of Egypt, is that before the Romans even moved in and started pretending that they were Egyptian, I mean, it was empty. Egypt was empty. 2,000 years before we have history of when the bad guys, the Romans, and then, so they spent all this time like tainting Egypt after they moved out. But before they moved out, you all, they oscillated the lands, and it's right at the same time, I'm getting angel bones, right at the same time that Atlantis fell. So this happened in different parts of the lands, but Egypt was a biggest major one that they needed to hide what was under. So as it oscillated out, it sunk in and hid with the sand above it. Do you understand? So this is the whole city is not actually what we're seeing as the tips of the pyramids. The whole city is under of what Egypt and these gods and goddesses and beings were at. They lived there. Okay, so once they shook it off, and even then, something that I always saw was like they were like somehow, some pyramids even grew out of the lands, but really they're submerged under. It's crazy, y'all. So when we're looking at what's under, it looks like it's copper. It's like coiled in copper with these gigantic pillars that are going down into looks like a tesseract. A tesseract is a cube. Gina sent me to my phone the link to the tesseract. So it looks like a tesseract, and when we were in the 5th dimension higher, then this tesseract was vibrating, causing an oscillation that then would allow for you to stellar travel. So then these are also part of our 4th dimensional construct. Why are they unveiling? It's because we are in we've been talking about it since last year, right? Like, we're in the year of unveiling. We're in the year of the serpent, the snake. Things are going to unveil. There's also been a rise in vibration in the collective where we want to see truth. The dark is not the majority anymore. Not that they ever were, but I mean, it was pretty dense, right? Before, especially in the COVID years, dense. So the light is the majority. We're asking for unveiling, both in government, in spirituality, in whatever, aliens, whatever you're asking and unveiling. So this is why it's become a vibratory match for the unveiling of Egypt to come up. Okay, so there is much to discover under. Wow. Okay, you guys understand? So let me show you. There's even videos of the energy that they're with science again. They're reading the energy under. Oh, so let me, I just got the Tesseract video so I could show you. Oh, it's right there. I see it actually. The one you had recently sent it to me. Okay, so let me explain to you how dimensions and energy and quantum physics work. In order for us to be here, first you need the foundation, which is the construct. So what you're looking at is the foundation of Earth alongside with gigantic crystals. There are geometric, sacred geometry beneath us that project out our existence in this simulation. So let's hear what he says, because this is how smart we used to be in Tartaria 100 years ago when Nikola Tesla was with us, among us.
The fourth dimension. Let's take this three-dimensional cube and project it, carry it through a fourth physical dimension. Not that way, not that way, not that way, but at right angles to those three directions. I can't show you what direction.
What does that mean? It's a right angle. A right angle is like an L, okay? So it needs to be at a right angle. You need right angles, as I've channeled Albert Einstein, and he taught us basically how to tap into time. You need right angles, and which is basically the dimension of the fourth dimension. Okay, so this is what he's explaining, okay? So in order to time travel, you do have to go through the fourth dimension to reach other dimensions, but you do have to be a vibratory match to the fourth dimension to even get at it, but we're in the third dimension. Keep listening.
That is, but imagine that there is a fourth physical dimension. In that case, we would generate a four-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in three.
And you see how it's moving here. So even a shape that is in etheric shape would be moving and shifting in energetically like this. And this is some of the energy you're seeing beneath, which I'll show you a video of that in a minute.
Dimensions. But what I can show you is the shadow in three dimensions of a four-dimensional hypercube, or
which reminds you a bit kind of like a hexagon, 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a hexagon, but in a diamond shape. So if you were to put a diamond like this, like which represents Divine Mother, a diamond with a hexagonal shape, that's what we're really looking at as a tesseract. But it really is a cube, like what you're seeing under beneath the pillars.
Tesseract. This is it. And you can see it's two nested cubes, all the vertices connected by lines. And now the real.
Pay attention here to how it's shifting in and out. The way existence is that it can never be still. It always has to be moving, like the ever moving motion of the water. You are always have to be moving as well. So even the molecules inside of you, the atoms always are shifting with the electrons inside of them. And especially the photons that are communicating back and forth between all your cells in your body are moving at the speed of light. Okay, so what we're seeing here is that, yes, we're seeing a cube, but the one that they have taken a picture of that I showed you there, that had the pillars coming out of it, that had the Tesla coils really coming out of it, right? The cube in a fifth dimensional state was moving and shifting and was a tesseract. You understand? Tesseract. Listen to him.
Tesseract in four dimensions would have all the lines of equal length and all the angles right. What about the...
Okay. We understand? Okay, we understand that. And I'll try to look at questions in a minute. I'm in flow here. And I'm going to show you now a picture of the energy that is going back and forth with the thermal heat index technology that they've had a reading of. The scientists are unveiling this again. Okay, now you're gonna see some.
Scientists have released
You're gonna
first
see.
video
Hold on, it's
ever of
loading. Okay, give it a minute. So you're gonna hear people saying, and I saw videos like who was that? Tucker Carlson had people on his show, and they were like saying that it was bogus. Those guys are paid. So yeah, don't believe that. They're definitely paid, and their energy is so dense, like bots, that you don't even want to pay any attention to them. Okay, Gina, let me know I'm not lagging in any way, right? Everything looks good and sounds good. Okay, just keep texting me and let me know, because it keeps freezing up here. It's just really powerful energy we're channeling today. Okay. All right, so here's the video I'm going to show you. So this is a thermal read of the energy running through the pillars. Can you see it good? Let me know. Okay, it's good visualization. We're having trouble playing this video. Let's try that again. Calling on the angels to clear the energy, making this transmission nice and strong with love light. See that running through? Okay, now see it. You see that? That is one, electricity, but it has heat signature to it. I mean, electricity can't have heat signature through it, but it's more like plasma. Okay, so it's plasmic electricity, etheric energy that you're seeing running through. Okay. It wasn't, it was Tucker Carlson, sorry. Oh, it wasn't Tucker Carlson. I'm so sorry. I mixed up the names. It was Piers Morgan. I knew that. Thank you. Correction. Piers Morgan had on guys that were claiming that that it was false. My apologies. Delete that. So Piers Morgan. Yeah, those guys were bots. And they just want to keep the masses asleep. Definitely paid. Okay, so let's keep watching that. So what are we seeing here as we're watching this heat signature? You're seeing the energy of the subsurface of the top of the earth connecting and running into the core of earth. That's why you're seeing two hotter signatures here, especially the red. You're at that point really, really hot, and then the bottom. And then they are, which means that this is not offline. It's not offline as we thought it was. And I do feel that this happened just recently this year sometime, that it became online. Okay, so that's maybe one of the reasons too why they would have scientifically scanned with their scientific, techniques that they have and technology that they have, and why they couldn't see it before, because it is something recent, which means that we have leveled up into a higher decimal in dimension. Now I am really seeing us now. Tesla is saying that we're at a 3.5. What does that mean? In order to get to the fourth dimension in this carbon-based reality that we're in, we need to keep rising in points. And we are currently at a 3.5, congratulations. So at a 3.5, somehow this has basically brought us online. So we are seeing again the conduit of energy that's coming in through, especially the sun's energy that's flowing in through the magnetic field of the top surface of Earth. And then we are seeing the inside of Earth connected together, flowing back and forth. Wow. Incredible, you all, right? Okay. I mean, you could hear basically that video I just showed you. I mean,
Amazing.
look at that.
Are these pyramids still active? Look at the heat traveling back and forth.
Yeah. So I think they explain something about, let's see, do they explain? Yes, so this is thermal heat, which basically means it's heat, it's heat. So there is life within this heat that's running up and down through it, okay? Pause that. Get it to stop. Okay. So then let's see. All right, we understand that. We understand that. Here's a little more data on it. It's a good video. Hold on. Just so you can understand the vastness, how gigantic and titanic, really Titan this is, okay? Titan, I mean, not Titanic. All right, show you here. Okay.
It's concerned, you know, I mean, the pyramid,
Oh, somewhat. Okay, hold on.
what they're finding. So yeah, this is what it looks like. This diagram show you the exact scale of how insane this discovery is. So up here you have Khafre's pyramid. It stands 471 feet tall. You know, this is so bizarre. It's definitely more impressive, and so that's what we're looking at. And then this is where it gets really, really crazy. If you zoom all the way out, this should give you a good idea of, you know, just the scale of engineering, what we're looking at, what they
And that's a
did.
good visualization.
And,
There, I like that visualization. And there's another example of just a tip of it.
concerned, you know,
Trying
I
to
mean,
see how
I mean, the
many,
pyramids to this point,
Gina, text me, how many pillars
what
is it?
they're finding.
How many
so,
tests,
yeah.
how many coils?
This is what it looks like. This
I forgot the
at this
number.
point,
I feel like I need to
with what
talk about.
they're finding. So yeah, this is what it looks like. This diagram show you the
Can't quite see it here
exact
because it's
scale
spinning.
of how insane this discovery is.
Let me see if I can get it to freeze.
So up here you have
text me how many.
Khafre's
All right.
pyramid. It stands
I
471
do
feet
feel
tall.
that they have a
You know,
connection to the
this is so
dimensions.
bizarre.
So tell me how many and we'll go from there. All right, so that's good data for you there. Okay, so one more thing while she looks up how many there are is that something else is happening. It's not just the pyramids that are unveiling, okay? Other things are unveiling that we weren't a vibratory match as a collective to be able to know, or that was hidden from us. And really by the, you know, the New World Order agenda. So I'm going to show you here. There is, you could look it up yourself. These articles, you can find several of them. What's been happening is that near Vancouver Island in Canada, look at when this date is posted. This is March 20th. I found several of them. We don't have time to see every single one of them, but they all pretty much match up, and they all have the same similar date of March 18 or March 20 or March 21, 2025, y'all, this year. So what they're claiming is, once more, is that what they've been finding, and they found these eggs. Now, one of the articles said as far as back as 2017. This one's saying 2021. What is interesting about these eggs is that they found supposedly dragon eggs, right, in the future that were kind of fossils, you know, they were empty. What is crazy about this, you all, is that this underwater volcano, there's giant eggs inside of them that they found in 2017, 2019, and then apparently in 2021. Not just all here in Vancouver, I believe it's in other locations, but the eggs are alive right here in this one in Vancouver. The eggs are alive. You have to also understand that it's a volcano and it's an erupting volcano, which means that there is lava inside and that the lava is spewing out, and it says it here. It says here, it's releasing the eggs alive inside lava. Let's think about that for a minute, you all. Okay, so if this happening in 2021, why are you just telling us now in 2025, 4 years later, okay? So it says, yeah, so it says here, however, instead. So some of the articles try to say that it's some kind of like sea animal or so on. But if it's a sea animal, a normal organism, egg would not be able to survive lava, you all. We know that. We're looking at really like mystical energies here, because a normal egg would deteriorate, would break apart. Only a fireproof animal would be able to, the egg would be able to survive that. So here, yeah, this says, oh, in an expedition in 2019, it says here, led by Deep Sea Marine. And this says Fisheries, Oceans Canada. They found what was previously thought to be only a seamount is actually an active volcano, releases warm mineral rich water. Now you could go on and read about this. So what's again, so they're calling it, some of these articles again are saying that it's some kind of like, what do they say? Like a white skate, but there's no way. So our question is, again, because they're eggs, how could they have survived and they're being spewed out of the actual lava? And why are they alive? So let's think about that for a minute. You're claiming that it's some kind of sea animal. Okay, but there's no way. These eggs are 1.5 feet across. Okay, that's pretty big for an egg. And okay, so let's get out of that, but just to show you a quick article. So then these eggs are, it's like a cultivation inside this volcano. Now, what is this volcano? What really is this volcano? To be erupting heat, fire, lava resistant eggs, you know, erupting out from her. Yeah, so so also these eggs would have had to have survived a very long time ago. How long have they been in there, and why are they just erupting now? And the other thing I want to know is, of course, they'd be dragon eggs. There's some kind of dragon eggs. I mean, that's the only kind of egg that would be able to survive lava. That's just a fact. That's just kind of common sense. Okay, so where are the dragon eggs? Government, Canada, where are the dragon eggs? What did you do to them? Where are they? And goes back to when we went to retreats at Angel Oaks and there was military bases, and in the military bases they had, we could hear them roar, and we had videos, and we even showed you videos where we zoomed in. We'll share you the links later, where we saw a gigantic flying being very far in one of these islands. There's a military island there where we were hearing, and the earth was shaking beneath us like an earthquake, but nobody was registering the earthquake because they knew it was the dragons in there and they were trying to escape. So where are they? All right. So again, we are seeing an unveiling of this content. You can look into it further as well. Why else would these eggs be alive with a pulse inside of them back in 2019 in lava? All right, so let me look at your questions and comments. So things are going to continue to unveil and birth a birthing, correct, in 2019 in Vancouver there. So let's see what else. So let me start taking some of your questions, because I know there's still a lot that we have to cover here, and we're gonna look in more of what I have explained under Egypt. So someone's asking, are the eggs from a phoenix or dragon? So the phoenix or dragon is now in the actual physical. It seems like it, you all. It sure seems like it, because again, I mean, it's the only thing. Do you know any other animal that is fireproof on Earth? I mean, if you do, let me know. What animal is lava proof? Not of this time, supposedly. Yeah, so yes, it is. So next is, so the Egyptian lands sunk down with the shifting lands like quicksand, like your dream. Exactly. They sunk down like like Atlantis sunk down into the ocean. And actually, the Joe Rogan video that if I would have kept it playing, but it was a little long, he talked about how there is there's basically a man trying to say that Atlantis was real, which we know it's real. I mean, and he's trying to find, you know, the remnants of what's left of Atlantis. Yeah, so we have a Mayan Atlantean series you can watch where we've covered all this. Okay, so someone's asking, are these coils tapping into the etherical energy of the toroidal sphere? Yes, they are. So the pillar, anytime you see a pillar like that, how you're seeing the tether coil, that's the center of a toroidal sphere. It's basically the energy just running up and down to connect the magnetic field. So it's connecting, oh my God. So what's happening here, that it is connecting the third dimensional physical carbon base to the more etheric fifth dimensional energy that's inside the inner earth, right? The hollow earth, the Agartha. It's connecting both fields, and it's keeping us alive so that we won't self-destruct, because it's connecting the third dimensional of us. You understand? The pillars are more like the fifth dimensional, the bridge in between, and then the fifth dimension is under where the energy is coming in from. In case you don't know what a toroidal sphere, I will show you what a toroidal sphere is. It looks like 9 for real. What? Okay, so if it is 9, this is huge. There's 9, and then each one of them has copper running through them, and it'd be gigantic wires of, there'd be huge wires of copper running through them. So if they're running through them, there's 9. We know with the Nikola Tesla theory, the 369, and we know how 9 basically pluses itself every time you add 9 plus 9 equals 18, and then you keep adding that sum and sum, right? It always equals back to the 9, which means that the universe, and our universe, main number is the 9. Our color is the blue, we're the blue lotus, but our universe is constructed within 9, the number 9. But then also we go past into the 12 dimensions too. Those are higher realms, 12, 13 dimensions that then connect us to the beyond, what's beyond our construct. Okay, so then the 9 universal number that we need to create creation is there, which then connects us to the 9th dimensions. So it seems like back then, when these were alive and active, and we were traveling through these portals of the pyramids, that we were traveling up to the 9th dimension. Because each one of those pillars represent the dimensions, is what Nikola Tesla is explaining. What was I going to show you? Yeah, the toroidal sphere. Okay, so just so you can see, so it's a donut. It's the center of a toroidal sphere that is running through these fields, but it's also multi-dimensional, because then it's also looking like a lotus, like a flower. Lotus flower. Okay, so let's see the toroidal sphere really quick. Again, check out my content, you all. It's incredible. Okay, so check out my books, keep watching. So this field here are the pillars that you're seeing, the coils that are connecting top and bottom. So in this perspective, we are here at the top of the 3rd dimension. This is the 4th dimension, which is a wormhole that we explained that connects the time construct of all time space. And then we have the bottom, which would be the energetic field that's pulling in the energy up to the top of us. So you can see also backwards too, where really the inner is the 5th dimension, is really the crystalline blueprint we were before we fell into the 3rd dimension. You can see it like that, but basically they're mirroring each other. And the 4th dimension, these pillars that you're seeing with the energy running back and forth are connecting the construct together, are unifying it together. Understand? Okay, so that was that. Was I going to show something else? That was the toroidal sphere. Okay. So you're confused. Is the pyramid the tesseract? The pyramid is not the tesseract. The bottom, the square, remember the visuals I showed you where there was cubes at the bottom, squares? That's the tesseract. So there was, under each pyramid, there was the cube, then the pillars, the 9 pillars, and then the tip. But it feels more like an obelisk energy or construct. Don't know till you dig it up. But inside, if it is an obelisk, which is really does look like one, then these coils are inside the obelisk, and then the tip. You understand? So then the cubes at the bottom are the tesseract, creating the energy, and then running it through into the fourth dimensional pillars. So, and then these tesseracts at the bottom, which are the fourth dimension, subterranean, say, energies of Earth, then connect you beyond to the inside of Earth. Okay? Does that make sense? Let me know. So, let me know if you need a visual. I think I did good there. So can the pyramids also take off like a spaceship with the plasma and electromagnetic energy underneath it? No, it can't technically, because I mean, unless it's going to take off with the whole entire Earth. And I mean, in a sense, we are taking off, right? We're rising in dimension to get higher so that we can enter back into the sixth dimension we were meant to ascend out into before the fall of Atlantis, where we fell down into the fourth dimension, then the third dimension, right? So yeah, I mean, you could kind of see it like that, but it's not, say, an official ship. No, we're a plane of existence currently in the third dimension. So yeah, we are going to keep orbiting higher to reach really in a fourth dimensional state, then back to the fifth, and ascending now into the sixth dimension. Okay, so stationary. So can the pyramids also take off space like a spaceship with the plasma electromagnetic? You could kind of visualize it like it is technically kind of taken off, you could say, because it is energy inside that is helping you align and connect to it, to take off in your consciousness, which your consciousness is where the universe and the multiverse exists, all your glands, your third eye. We teach that Isis Priestess course, you all, priest course, we call it priest, but it's just basically a name. Come sign up. You learn how to use your brain in a scientific way, your third eye, and make all these what we're watching today, remote viewing, and what we're speaking of. You could do this too. You have all these glands inside your brain. So come sign up. Open enrollment begins at Patreon next month in May. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, Gina says some articles are saying 8 total cylinders, and the coils in each would be 9, and they say it is 10 times larger than the pyramids. For sure. Well, even 8 would be powerful because we're tapping into an infinity. There most likely is 9. There's 8 and 9. You guys know what I'm talking about, those of you who are Aura practitioners. There's 8 and 9. So let's see. We have basically a sacred alchemy symbol that the Inner Earth gave us long ago, 7 years ago, that we've been using, that actually looks just like that. What? All right. Yeah, that is rad. I don't know what else to say to that. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so so can the pyramids, okay, yeah, next questions. Wow, so the Parthenon in Greece is also just a tip as well. Absolutely, it is factually just a tip, because when we were listening to the employees, they were talking about that it went down, at least that they could see like 3 to 5 floors more down to what you could see above. In case you are new to us and you don't know of the Parthenon in Nashville, since we've referenced it a couple times, this is what it looks like in the now time. Okay, it looks like this, and it's actually, you know how the Pantheon in Greece. Oh, hold on. Why are you rotating? Don't know why you're rotating. Let's just click this. That one they destructed, right? This one was not able to be destructed. It has a field, a magnetic field that protected it, crystalline field. See, this door is huge for big, giant Titan people, and we're tiny, right? So there's also, yeah, and there's, again, I mean, you can't even fight this because they have these pictures inside here. There's Athena, how many feet is she again? Gina, message me. How many feet is she? See, this is us down here, And they did,
The detailed ones.
she is made out of gold. They tried to say that she was spray printed gold, but then they must have heard my video, because I said, no, that's gold. And then a year later we came back and they did put that she was 24 karat gold, supposedly just plated. But yeah, so that is what we're seeing there. And there's more. This is what we're talking about, that there's even more. And here's proof. Let me find the image of that. It was the only thing that wasn't wiped out. Look at that. This is a picture that they have inside of there, of the Parthenon I just showed you. And everything's wiped out. The World Fairs, right? Look into the World Fairs, watch our Antarctica Tartaria series. And the only thing that remains untouched, literally, you all, is this. Why would everything be wiped out when it used to factually look like this? In 1897. Okay, this is again documents they have there. Okay. All right, so that's that. So that's your question there. Yeah. So it says, so wow, so the Parthenon in Greece is also just a tip as well. It is actually, yeah, oh, that's the in Greece, but then I was just showing you the Nashville one. The one in Greece is completely destroyed, right? Okay, so it's actually that one in Greece is on a hill, and it would make sense that there is more under. Yeah, so mud floods, what's beneath the mud floods, and sand or quicksand in Egypt. Which reminds me, where were we where the land felt so like you could sink in? I think it was Angel Oaks. It felt like it was so smushy and it wasn't even rained on, and we all were talking about, like, you could feel like you could just sink in. And oh, there is actual in South Carolina, there's known to be quicksand and sinkholes. Yeah. Well, quicksand. All right, so someone said, don't eggs need to be on ley lines for birthing dragon babies and healing the earth? I think they could be, but at this point, I mean, that volcano's got to be some kind of ley line for sure. Or if not, I mean they could birth in anywhere. Yeah. So the next question is, did the Atlanteans run to the underground, the pyramids, and lived underneath for some time when Atlantis went under destruction? Yes. So what we teach in the Antarctica Tartaria series, and there's pictures everywhere you can find, where there seem to have been, and we cover this in our Patreon series, the Philadelphia experiment, where basically after the fall of Atlantis, we used to get our light from the trees. Then eventually trees got cut down, and that's why they're the giant trees trunks now that look like mountains. This light had to go somewhere, so it created itself, a piece of that crystal created itself into the sun. So the sun, and we're seeing two suns all over the earth, are crystals of the hearts of the tree of life, especially the tree located at the North Pole that we are restricted from looking at. This tree trunk there now. So these parts came out of the Zion tree and created the sun and the moon. So they're pieces of crystals that bring the life force, and that's, yeah. So but what happened is, through that transition of the fall of Atlantis, is that it did become pretty radioactive, and that's why you want to watch The Last American, part 1 and part 2. We'll get to part 3 soon, and the Tartarian book that I found from the 1800s, but it's even predated past that. Okay, and then we talk about how humanity had to go down into the earth to survive, and that's why you even see, I could show you pictures for days, you all try to find one, but how their civilizations went into the earth, and they had to go into caves. Oh, here we go. I mean, I don't know where this is at. This is just kind of like a random one. You all, there are thousands and millions of these pictures where there is holes and you go into the earth, and we've covered Montezuma well, right? And that's how they survive. And you even know, you've seen history of how these cities are also found inside mountains too, where monks supposedly went into, and it's because humanity needed to move into the mountains and these mounds to survive, because the sun had become too powerful, and they were adjusting. Basically, you can't just, the humanity needed to adjust to, wow, now the sun being a etheric object in the sky, and it was pretty hot. In the Americas here, we learned through the last American that it was hot. You know, you're not even able to withstand it. This alone here, like this is Montezuma Well in Phoenix, Sedona area. Again, civilizations built into walls, okay? All right, and then, yep, good questions, everyone. So did the Atlanteans run to the underground pyramids? Yeah, we talk about that through the Mayan Atlantean series. They were Lemurian, and the Lemurians had to go down to survive. And so then we're seeing two worlds, the fifth dimension, the inner earth, the hollow earth, which are the Atlanteans, which are the Lemurian, the original people who are fifth dimensional, holding the space there. And we basically have constructed a carbon-based physical plane of existence over the inside of the fifth dimensional etheric energy. We're above, and that's why we're seeing these subterranean cities right beneath us that connect us then to the inner earth. Is the Sphinx the entrance to a portaling space? It is. What we talk about it, especially in the quantum galactic Akashic reading, where you can learn how to read your own Akashic and or give readings to others. And the Sphinx is a major part to connecting to this. It's not just a Sphinx though, there's many Sphinx energies all over Earth. Yeah, that connect you to these energies. Okay, yeah, so the next one is, this is why NASA owns the rights to the inside of the pyramids, really? Huh. Would the fact that they are stellar gateways and may be connected to space be why they wanted it? Yeah, exactly. So that's just the dark Illuminati. All those dark things. Okay, so it looks like I covered your questions. So let me see what else I want to cover here as we're further remote viewing. Definitely going to channel Divine Mother to be able to, we're going to go in deep in the course coming up this Sunday. Again, sign up for that on Patreon. Giving you so much though through this is quite incredible, right? So activating. And then but let's go ahead and remote view. Let's see, because I answered your questions for now. I'll check on them in a little bit to see if you had more. All right, so let's see what else is there. I could tell you too is what I'm seeing is Grand Canyon also has these peaks that are the other, say, Egypt. Two worlds. We got the, you know, the Eastern world, the Western world, and we're over here, and Grand Canyon is our version of Egypt, just like that's their version of Egypt. Egypt is Egypt to them, right? So I feel like there's going to be some more unveiling, and we need to see what is the military hiding there. Furthermore, in Grand Canyon, we did already talk about it though. In remote viewing Grand Canyon on Patreon, I think we had like 4 or 5 videos of it. So there's a mirror going on between both worlds of the West and the East. Let's look at Egypt. Let me see what's down under. Okay. See these. Besides this, is that it kind of reminds you of kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of theme, where it's not like, so you visualize we're like in an egg. So up us here on top, we're on a subsurface. We're at the, not subsurface, we're at the surface of the egg, and there's a bunch of soil and sand, right? We're up here. So then the construct is still able to hold up because the eggshell, say, we could even visualize Earth as a dragon egg that's gonna hatch eventually, but inside then is inside the fifth dimensional. Okay, so we're at the top. And so then it, even though you can sink into the city beneath Egypt, it's still the surface is still held up by a type of a surface, a foundation, a eggshell, we'll say. So if you crack an egg, you say there's sand, sand's gonna go in. It's not gonna completely sink in. It's just gonna be the surrounding sand. But then there's a whole nother world under, a city under. Them definitely seeing that there's some dark reptilians there that are running around hiding, and then there's some dark aliens that are currently there hiding too, which would explain why NASA owns it, and then why we know that the deep state basically owns NASA too. Okay, so okay. Yeah, and it's 42 feet tall, huh? Those pillar cylinder coils. 42 feet tall, which equals 2 equals 6. So then 6 is the sixth dimension we wanted to get into. Or 13 meters, if you calculate it by 13, then we have 13 stellar universal laws that we speak about that keep us sovereign. Speak of in book 1. Okay, so we got good numbers, 9, 8, 6 and 13, which basically all represent the universe and then ascension. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so we understand. So it's sunk in. It's like, so what caused the sand? Let's ask Divine Mother here. What caused the sand? Our dogs are going out. We'll give them a minute. She's showing me, Divine Mother said that Egypt oscillated so much that it created the sand, the little sand, as it vibrated. And also some of the sand is the majority of crystals really is crystal sand. It's like pieces of crystals factually. So then it oscillated with Cleopatra showed us that there was an eclipse that happened when they portaled out to Grand Canyon and hid there for the rest of their remaining time. Okay. And then so the sand is powder of crystals, and the Lancet is oscillating and then sinks in at the same time as Atlantis moon goes down, and it is marvelous. It's marvelous. You can visualize again an egg shell. It's more like flat kind of surface, and then there's the beginning of it, the tip of like that Nashville building I showed you where the top, and then you could go down for levels and levels that are infinite, and they go as deep, about as deep as the meters of the coils go down. So then the city, subterranean city, goes down to 42 feet down. So then 42 feet, like a bubble of a city. It's all of Egypt too. It's not just Giza, it's all of it sunk down, the majority of it. Now it's different feet. Divine Mother saying not all of them are going to be like 42 feet sunk in. But for the majority, you're going to see that number. Okay. And then, let's see what else. 42 feet. Oh, 42 feet. Oh, sorry, 42 feet is Athena. Oh, so how long, let's clarify that then. How much space do they claim? How many meters again do they claim? That, so tell me that, so we could clarify that. Oh, okay. Athena's statue is 42 feet tall, which is number 6, Ascension. Okay, so then let's look into 600. I was gonna say that's too little. Okay, thank you. It wasn't making sense to me. Okay, so 600, correction, 648 meters of bubble of space there sunk in. Again, it's not gonna be the exact number. What does 648 equal? And we're seeing 6-4. The number 6 is there. It was there. And 4 sacred directions. 6, and it's the 6th dimension we're going to go into. 4, the 4th dimension of the Tesseract, or the 4 sacred directions. Then 8, which is infinity. So we got 10 plus 8 equals 9. You're kidding. Oh my God. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, guys. 9, the universal number we're talking about. So they sunk in 9, equaling 648 meters, 9. So, okay, think about how gigantic that is. So it's supposed to be 10 times. We know that the Pyramid of Giza, what we see above the sand, is huge, right? 10 times that, which adds up to 648 meters. Wow. I'm just wowed by this. So then the majority of all of Egypt has these bubbles of lands under it that are protected by magnetic fields of crystals that are gigantic under. And they've come online because now that you see the energy signature running through. So the question is, which it looks like that is going to continue to unveil the rest of the pyramids, and temples are going to continue to unveil to see what other energy is under. But we've got to keep pushing this, you all, and stop going into the false agenda that this is not real. I mean, you have facts here, a heat signature. I mean, how much more real do you need to get? Okay, thank you. Wow, incredible. So let me see. So besides, so like the dark aliens are just at the top surface, just like at the, you know, the subterranean surface, basically right under the land. They can't go deeper into the 648 meters because they're not a vibratory match. So they're kind of like, if like the tunnels that we see right under, like the subway tunnels, that's how they are. They're beneath it though. I see magical beings, and I do see Lumerian beings and Atlantean beings now being able to portal in. They said they couldn't get in because it was too dense before, but again, Year of the Dragon was big to get us here, and then the Year of the Snake, Chinese calendar. Okay, wow. They said it's all about like basically like entity removal, removing the curse, or removing the dark energy, and then also the oscillation to the collective, human collective, and where they want to be at, which is what's allowing this. Okay, so then let's see. So then down we see the Vesica Pisces, the two worlds like this, the Vesica Pisces, two circles interlocking. We're seeing it like this. Fifth dimension existing down here, and the fourth dimension is in the little seed at the center, and the top is us. Okay, so these worlds are interlinked now and unified. Oh, when the water became plasmic last year, towards, I think it was November. Yeah, November, the water became plasmic. Okay, so then these came active and online during when the water became plasmic. Okay. With the unification of fourth, the Year of the Dragon and the Year of the Serpent. These two powers, wow, unified. Ooh, incredible. What else? What are the questions you guys have? There's so much more I could cover. We'd be here for days. Let me see where we're at as far as questions. Okay, I don't see more questions. All right. Let me see your comments. Thank you all for the love in the comments. Looks like the Schumann resonance, someone said. Yeah. Looks like the Schumann resonance. So now, so it seems like this energy that's going to be running through the pillars are also going to be unifying with the Schumann resonance. So they've aligned to one another. This is big. I know it's hard to explain how big this is, but huge that these are running. I mean, they haven't ran since Atlantis, you all. Think about the angel bumps. They're running. Well, and they also ran a bit though in the fourth. Well, they haven't ran to their full power since Atlantis. They're still running part Tartaria. Yeah, but then the fall happened of Tartaria. Okay. Someone said, just saw the eggs in the volcano article. Yep. Crazy, huh? And it was after you went to Hawaii and the volcanoes there. Yeah, those volcanoes. Mother Pele. Oh, we know that's her doing that. My goodness, they hide and discredit all our history. They do. Thank God for remote viewing. Right? Check it out, you all. See with your own eyes too. Third eye. You've seen videos on Turkey's underground cities. Yeah, it's everywhere, you all. Everywhere. Okay. So I don't see other questions and comments. So let's see what else I can remote view, and then we're gonna conclude this video. Otherwise, I can see you Sunday. Yeah, sign up to it, you all. What are you waiting for? Come sign up. So part 7 you'll sign up for, but all the other parts you can find them under my website. 20% off right now. Go get 20% off. I mean, the classes are only like 55 or 70 if you buy one class, or if you're signed up to any of our Rising in Phoenix Mystery School, at any point you get the discounted for 55 plus 20% off, y'all. I mean, and these classes, these courses come with sacred alchemy symbols. They're combining science with energetics, spirituality. It's all together, not separated. And yeah, what? So why not come sign up? Just like water right now. Okay, 20% off. Yeah, but back to, I'm gonna look again. I'm looking back and I see. See a lot of lapis lazuli under. There's also some lapis lazuli, some tourmalines, different color tourmalines as well, like blue. There's a lot of blue. Also seeing mica, and they're big plates of plates of mica. If you know what mica looks like, they look like plates, like plates. And then huge. And then I also see mercury. Mercury angel bumps is inside those pillars, coils running back and forth that are creating the heat signature there, helping it. Underground, here we go. So they're just like waving at us. They're all the way at the bottom, like those at the bottom of the, what was it, 648 meters. So like, you know how you picture here Earth, so picture 648 meters there. That's their surface, you could say, their world. Okay, so then yeah, I see big giants. They're walking, and it's like they're walking parallel to us in a 5th dimensional state while we're in the 3rd dimension. So they're walking dimensions next to each other. That. But they could see us and sense us because they have abilities. You know, they still have their abilities from the fall of Atlantis there. So Atlantean, Lemurian energies, abilities. Okay, so there's children. They're cute. They're adorable. Can you guys feel that? It's like tickling in the heart. Yeah, they're glowing different colors of kind of etheric skin that's glowing, and they are happy that they are back and more unified. It's like they orbited. It's like we orbited higher to them so that they could unify, like a Vesica Pisces again, 2 circles. See what else they're saying. Yeah, these buildings are gigantic. Layers and layers. Whoa, floors and floors, like skyscrapers. Were the most giant skyscrapers that you could visualize. I feel like that's all they'll let me explain. Unless you guys have more questions and comments, which I'm not seeing. Yeah, I don't see any. I feel like I've covered what is allowed to be explained in this now time, which has been huge. Otherwise, I'll see you Sunday, or I'll see you next Friday, every Friday live here on Rumble. Subscribe now, hit like, help the algorithm. Wow, you all, what an incredible time we are in. Let's go. There's word all over the world that perhaps the World Fairs are going to be coming back. We have President Trump, who has implied that they're coming back, and that we're going to be in this. And then we also have other areas in the world that are also coming to this awakening and going to bring the World Fairs back, that are going to vibrate us higher. The advancement of humankind is going to be glorious, like Tartaria was. More of etheric, breatharians, you know, using these elements like mercury and copper and bronze, and you know, and yeah, all the metals that we used to use in a benevolent way. But we have to be cautious, because we do have to have benevolent people making the items that are going to connect us more etherically. But yeah. Oh, last question here. Is the consciousness of the collective contributing to the energy unfolding in these pyramids? There is so much light on the planet now. Exactly. I explained that at the beginning. It is the consciousness. It is our wanting, our need, our asking for it to happen. We are who are unveiling these now time spaces that we are seeing. Incredible, right? Yeah. All right, let's finish it up. Love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you for being you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In case you do like the song, because you guys asked me, it's by Deuce Williams. Toasting all my life.
Sunrise in my eyes.
Come to California, Sakua, 6/9, June 9. Ireland, come get your heart activated by the emerald light there. That is the energies of Atlantis, still on the surface of the water. 8/8, August 9th to be exact. Come. And otherwise, my workshop to teach what we're teaching, the Aura Hypnosis, Raw Reiki, Entity Removal, so you can be your most organic self, is being taught May 12th, Monday, May 12th. Come sign up. You have about a week left so you can sign up. Last day, 20% off my entire shop. You all, come on, come get a reading, come get a Raw Reiki session. Go to aurapractitioners.com, where you can find practitioners too all over the world. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being you. Come follow my social medias. We are done. You're right. She always knows. Love you guys. See you next time. Good girl.
First time around.